Urbanization is the defining phenomenon of the 21st century. Nearly 2 billion people are expected to move to cities and towns over the next 20 years. Rural to urban transition is a once-in-a-lifetime event. We cannot afford to get it wrong. Urbanization and economic growth go hand in hand. Looking at Japan, we can see that economic activity is densely packed in Tokyo. In the US, cities are also the engines of growth. But this is not just a developed country phenomenon. Economic activity in developing countries is also highly concentrated in cities across all regions of the world. Urbanization presents great opportunities for economic growth and poverty reduction. But it also carries great potential costs, particularly for urban poverty and the environment.
Cities strained on energy, cities drowning in solid waste. I used to work on Cairo, so incredible asthma rates amongst children under 5.
Senegal is a country of immigration. The populations in Dakar used to live on tourism and fishing, but this resource is drying up.
The Urbanization Knowledge Platform will connect and convene national policymakers, cities, researchers, private sector, and civil society. It'll draw on the best available knowledge and experience, and it will help translate ideas into action.
For the first time in history, more than half the world's population will reside in cities. The first way in which we want to help address these challenges is by connecting city practitioners to one another.
The nature of the problems are so complex that no one agency can deal with it.
And what we realized is there are individual silos of energy, public sector services, real estate, and transportation, but they're not talking to each other. And we believe fundamentally the network as a platform, almost like the fourth essential utility in city building, is what's going to get cities to the next level.
And so we're really thinking hard about how can we come up with new creative ideas where the poor can still keep that seat at the table.
Fundamental truth is that cities don't make people poor, not usually. Cities attract poor people. Now, when they're functioning well, they're attracting poor people by being avenues of opportunity.
We had a very successful slum upgradation program with the municipal corporation.
Slum networking project is nothing but networking the city infrastructure to slums.
This isn't something that you do once and then say, well, we've got this ready, we're a smart city and so forth, that in fact every city has to continually reinvent itself.
The bank today is no longer only a generator of knowledge. It has to be a catalyst for knowledge. It has to bring the knowledge from all other parts.
Reinvention of cities. Cities are, it's a living thing, and reinvention is an integral part of any city's life cycle.
We really got to start thinking about these economic models not in terms of the trade-offs, within the immediate future and bringing in business, et cetera. We have to look at what is the sustainable issue in terms of maintaining that economy.
Green-collar economies, green-collar jobs, that kind of financing, especially with institutions like the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, or the UN, can really start to stimulate cities to divert their traditional economic growth models into a more ecologically sound one.
We obviously meet at a critical moment for our cities and our world, a moment when the challenges our cities face are only matched by the opportunities that they offer.
We as economists, we think about how things are done and what things are done. And we don't think that much about where things are done. It can be the difference between poverty and prosperity.
Cities are places where problems and solutions meet, and where also a demographic and economic transformation is taking place. And if we don't seize the moment now, then we would really have lost the development agenda.